Class 11th, Subject Physics, 7th chapter, Thermal Properties of Matter. Thermal Properties of Matter. From this chapter, let us see radiation. So, radiation is third mode or third way of transfer of heat. So, by radiation, how the transfer of heat energy takes place. So, for that purpose, first of all, let us define this radiation. So, it will be defined as the process of transfer of heat from a point at higher temperature to a point at lower temperature in the form of electromagnetic waves without heating the intervening medium is called as radiation. The process of transfer of heat from a point at higher temperature to a point at lower temperature in the form of electromagnetic waves without heating the intervening medium is called as radiation. That means in case of radiation, there will be transfer of heat energy from a point at higher temperature to a point at lower temperature, but there is no necessary any medium. That is, medium is not necessary for the transfer of heat energy, because that heat energy will be transferred in the form of electromagnetic waves. For example, the heat radiations coming from the sun will be received on the earth's surface in the form of electromagnetic waves, and therefore these heat radiations which are coming from the sun are reaching to the earth in the form of radiation. That is, heat energy from the sun will be received by the earth in the form of radiation, and therefore we can say that for transfer of heat energy by the process of radiation, the molecules are not needed, as material medium is not necessary for the transfer of heat energy by radiation. Therefore we can say that for transfer of heat energy by radiation, the molecules are not needed, that is, medium is not required for this process of radiation. All objects possess thermal energy due to their temperature. So we know that all the objects possess thermal energy on account of their temperature. The rapidly moving molecules of a hot body will always emit electromagnetic waves. The rapidly moving molecules of a hot body will always emit the electromagnetic radiations which are traveling with velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, and these are called as the thermal radiations. So if you consider any hot body, then molecules of that hot body will be having larger speed as compared with the molecules of the cold body, and therefore these radiations carry thermal energy with them and transfer it to the low speed molecules of any cold body on which they fall. So when such molecules of the hot body, which are fast moving molecules, are incident on the molecules of the cold body, at that time there will be transfer of heat energy between them. Then this will result in increase in the molecular motion of the cold body. So when these fast moving molecules are incident on the molecules of the cold body, at that time there will be transfer of energy from the hot body to the cold body, and hence there will be increase in molecular motion of the cold body, and the temperature of that cold body will increase. So in this way the process of radiation takes place. And now let us see next point, that is Newton's law of cooling. Newton's law of cooling. Now let us see first of all the statement of Newton's law of cooling. It is stated as the rate of loss of heat, that is dT by dt. The rate of loss of heat dT by dt of a body is directly proportional to the difference of temperature, that is T minus T0, of the body and the surroundings provided that the difference in temperatures is small. Provided that the difference in temperatures is small. So the rate of loss of heat, that is dT by dt of a body, is directly proportional to the difference of temperature, that is T minus T0 of the body and the surroundings, provided that the temperature difference is small, and therefore mathematically it will be given as the rate of loss of heat, that is dT by dt, will be proportional to T minus T0, where T will be the temperature of the hot body and T0 will be the temperature of its surrounding, and T minus T0 will represent temperature difference between the body and its surrounding. So to verify this law, this temperature difference must be small, and therefore rate of loss of heat will be directly proportional to difference in temperature T minus T0 between the body and its surrounding, such that this temperature difference is small. Or it will be written as dT by dt equal to C into T minus T0. Dt by dt equal to C into T minus T0, where C is constant of proportionality. Now this law, Newton's law of cooling, will be now explained by using the experimental setup. So in this experimental setup, this will be the calorimeter vessel. It will be filled with boiling water up to 2/3 of its capacity. So boiling water will be contained in this calorimeter vessel up to 2/3 of its capacity. Then it will be enclosed with the help of constant temperature enclosure. With the help of this constant temperature enclosure, it will be enclosed. Then it will be closed with this insulating lid. So insulating lid will be placed on this constant temperature enclosure. This lid will be having one hole through which a thermometer will be inserted into it. This thermometer inserted into water will be so adjusted that the bulb of this thermometer will be fully dipped into this boiling water. And therefore, if we consider the construction of this, then we can say that consider a calorimeter filled up to 2/3 of its capacity with boiling water and is covered with the constant temperature enclosure. A thermometer is fixed or inserted through a hole in the lid, and its position is so adjusted that the bulb of that thermometer is fully immersed in water. Then the temperature in the thermometer is noted at the rate of 1 minute. That is, after each and every 1 minute interval, the temperature of the thermometer will be noted until the temperature of water decreases by about 25 degrees Celsius. So in this case, there will be loss of heat by the water, and therefore for every 1 minute the temperature of this water will be recorded with the help of this thermometer, such that the initial temperature of the boiling water will decrease by about 25 degrees Celsius. Then a graph of temperature T against T is plotted. So in order to verify this law, after measuring the temperatures of water, then the graph of temperature T in terms of degree Celsius against time T in terms of minute will be plotted. So along x-axis time intervals will be plotted, along y-axis temperature will be plotted. Then from this graph it is clear that there will be a curve. So nature of the graph will be a curve, and therefore now in order to find the rate of cooling, that is dT by dt, let us consider some of the points. We can select some of the points along this curve like A and B. Suppose if you consider point A, then a tangent will be drawn to this point A. As it is a curve, and to find its slope we have to draw tangent. Then by drawing the tangent, suppose like this, for any point AB is the tangent. Then this difference will be dt, that is delta T, that is change in temperature between the 2 points A and B, and then this difference will be change in time, that is delta T, that is dt. So like this, if you select number of points and then if you draw the tangent to that point and if we find out the slope of each tangent, then large number of dt by dt readings we will get from this cooling curve. Then finding out the slopes of these tangents for different points, we can plot the next graph for the verification of this law, that is rate of cooling dt by dt. Rate of cooling dt by dt will be plotted along y-axis and the temperature difference T minus T0 for these selected points on this cooling curve. We can find this temperature difference and then it will be plotted along x-axis with origin as 0, 0. Then when the points are plotted, then it will be observed that it will be a straight line. The graph of this rate of cooling against temperature difference will be a straight line passing through origin, and therefore we can say that as the graph is straight line passing through origin, therefore rate of cooling dt by dt must be directly proportional to temperature difference T minus T0, and therefore according to statement dt by dt is proportional to T minus T0, same formula will be valid here, and therefore Newton's law of cooling will be verified from this graph of rate of cooling against temperature difference. So this will be regarding Newton's law of cooling.